G'day, this is Simon and James at South OC Cars and Coffee. Hey, thanks for joining us. We've got a great turnout today. Some really cool stuff and some special people as well. What have you seen?
Yeah, we had daily driven exotics roll in with 3 cars. They brought their Lamborghini Diabolo, the Carrera GT, and then Skinny with his R8, amongst a whole bunch of other exotics that we have today. Probably the most F8 Tributos that I've ever seen in one weekend. It's actually crazy. What have you seen?
Yeah, I don't think I've seen more F8s. I think Ferrari probably haven't seen as many F8s as we've got here today. We've got a cool 57 Chev that's been a previous car of the week winner. It's got about a 2-inch roof chop and a tiltable whole front end on that thing. And also a really old classic Nissan Patrol, late 60s, I'm guessing, maybe mid 60s, something I've never seen over here before, which is really, really cool as well. Hey, don't forget, if you come to South OC Cars and Coffee, remember to please drive slowly, quietly, do not rev. That includes not only when you're on the premises at the outlets, but also when you're leaving, when you get on the I-5, make sure to just keep it nice and slow, keep the neighbours happy. Obviously, that's important to protect the show as well. All right, mate, let's go for a walk and check some stuff out.
Here we have one of the most interesting McLaren 765 LTs that I've ever seen personally. This is not a wrap, this is actually paint. You have a green fade into like a dark gray in the back. I think it's so cool they've managed to do this. I love the green little accents all over the place, the green calipers and everything. It just looks so good. I don't think that I've ever seen more F8 Tributos in my life. There are so many of them here today, but here we have 2 beautiful red Tributos side by side, and I like that from the outside they look very similar, but when you start looking closer, they are different. You have red calipers on this one, whereas this one has yellow, and then there's just little things on the interior just to make, you know, subtle differences. This one has a little hand-painted 12 o'clock emblem, whereas this one doesn't, but it has red Alcantara, red leather on the side of the steering wheel. Such cool cars.
I can hear the demons call when they do what they do, and now I feel like taking off, find a place with a view. The pain is never gonna stop if it's controlling you. I know that time can heal it all, I just gotta get through. I just gotta get through, I just gotta get through. Cause I feel like taking off, find a place with a view.
Here we have the Vorsteiner G80 M3, and I think that the kit that they make for this car really brings it to life. You can see that their little grill inserts in the front break up the front end nicely and kind of gives it more of an OEM look that even the original grills do. I like the little livery that they've got going on as well. The 3M stripe up the splitter that continues along the side. Just a really cool car.
Okay, so this week I think we definitely have broken our record with the number of motorcycles. We have nearly filled up that second row we normally use for overflow for exotics. There are more motorcycles rolling in than I have ever seen. Check this out.
I need my space, I need my privacy, I need some silence, please. You're all too loud, you don't speak quietly. Opinions violently thrown across every surface, it makes me nervous. It's the world honestly burning, that's all I'm learning. Hope that we can make a turn and start reversing. All our minds, we put the work in, we got some work, man.
It's always a good time when Daily Driven Exotics brings out some cars. Here we have 2 of them here, and then we also had Skinny that brought out his R8. I'm really excited to see these 2 though, because I hadn't seen them except for on Instagram. We have the all-new Carrera GT that they just wrapped in this beautiful green vinyl. It looks fantastic. I think they've got a set of Brixton forged wheels on there, and then obviously the beautiful Lamborghini Diabolo SV, the gated 5-speed. Such a cool car, just a timeless classic, and I'm really glad that they're getting into some of these older exotics. I just think it's so cool.
Previous car of the week winner here, this 1957 Chevy. This thing is incredible. First thing, you may or may not notice roof chop on this. Notice how the roof line is not as high as a standard 57. That's what makes this thing look so sleek. Under the hood, of course, running that LS with a Kenny Bell supercharger. This thing is really beautiful. Lovely interior as well. Hyper neat car. So great to see this back at the show again. And as I said, very worthy car of the week winner from previously as well. Before Tesla was making their own cars, the Model S, the Model X, the Model 3, this was one of the first cars that they actually released. And of course, based on a Lotus originally, but full electric car. All the spoils of Lotus is a magnificent handling, of course, but then you've got the instant torque of an electric motor in there as well. And I'm sure the battery packs are also down low, as they are in a lot of the cars as well, which would probably help the center of gravity as well. Not sure about the detail they went to when they were building these things, when they actually changed the floor plan, or floor pan, should I say, to include those battery packs, but still, great little car. I'm sure they're starting to pull some decent money these days. So first glance, if you didn't know what you're looking at, you may think that this is actually an early Toyota Land Cruiser. Same country, this is Nissan. This is also built in Japan, and this was 1967 Nissan Patrol. So this was their movement of going after, I guess, that Jeep, the Land Cruiser, all of those sort of things. This has been beautifully restored. It's interesting, you can tell the era, we were talking about it earlier on. Look at that steering wheel, that wireframe steering wheel. You can tell it's, you know, quite an early vehicle, but this thing's great. They didn't have the pedigree of a Land Cruiser. You certainly didn't see as many around. We had a few of them in Australia when I was growing up. I remember seeing these around, but today it's kind of cool because you don't see nearly as many of them on the road either. So great to see this gorgeous little 1967 Nissan Patrol.
That's going to do it for another weekend here at South OC Cars and Coffee. Another fantastic turnout today.
Yeah.
Please remember, if you are coming to South OC Cars and Coffee, keep it nice and quiet coming and going from the event, including getting on the freeways. And please remember, no revving, no speeding, and no burnouts while on the premises. I want to give a huge shout out to all the sponsors. We have Meguiar's, Polestar, Pacific Air-Cooled, Next Level Detailing, Teen Road to Safety, RPM Tesla Aftermarket Accessories, LKQ Pick Your Part, Bridgestone, Roadster, Carbontastic, and then MW Company as well, who's the parent company of Momo, Forge Star World, CCW, and so many other fantastic companies. I also do want to give a huge shout out to all the volunteers for helping us put on this show each and every week. We really couldn't do it without them. Remember, if you want to become a volunteer, hit us up on Instagram at South OC Cars and Coffee Merch. So we handle all of our volunteer rostering, and then while you're over there, check out the brand new designs that we've got going on. We released 2 brand new ones this week. And remember, if you are volunteering, you do get to bring your car in before 8:30, and then Ruby Santa does also provide a free coffee and donut for you too.
Yeah, big thank you to Ruby's for doing that. We really do appreciate that. And a big thank you to the outlets of San Clemente for allowing us to be here. We could not do the show without them. So please remember, if you need to do some shopping, come to the outlets and tell them South OC Cars and Coffee sent you. Big thank you, of course, to the City of San Clemente for their support, and also to the Mayor, Gene James, as well, for everything those guys do. We really appreciate it. Well, that's it. Thanks so much for watching. Please remember to like, subscribe below, all of those things. Have a great week. We'll see you back here next week for another South OC Cars and Coffee.
Thank you, guys.